Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know this literally does not work. Um, Sunday afternoon, and I'm trying to do some work, trying to get ready for this football season because I'm going to plan on having some people here. When I'm not at a game, we're going to have a full house here, and I want to be ready. I got to get my kitchen up there straightened out and everything. I'm up here actually replacing my deck boards because, well, they've been on there a long time. It's time for some new shit. So I'm ripping those off, putting them on the truck, and I headed to the dump so I can see the Washington football team. Funny thing, people will comment on things and not know exactly what they're talking about. It's almost comical because I knew, you know, certain things that you do that you're going to get a reaction. And one of those things that I did was, and I'm going to revisit it after it's done. But I went through and I compared because my man Juan Cruz shared with me the first 69 games, which is what Dak Prescott has played, versus Peyton Manning, future Hall of Famer, two-time Super Bowl champion, a guy who's been in 4 Super Bowls. And we're comparing the beginning of his career with the beginning of Dak Prescott's. And instead of people saying, okay, so far Dak has done at least what Peyton Manning has done, they go through this whole thing. This is why people hate the Cowboys. You're delusional. You're crazy. Put down the crack pipe. You know, it doesn't pass the eye test. I'm flat out putting the numbers down and the wins. They'll say, well, Dak's never gone to the NFC Championship game. Well, guys, guess what? In the first 69 games of Peyton Manning's career, of the first 5 seasons, they went to the playoffs 3 times. He was 0-3. They had a 2-13 season, a 13-3 the next year, but then they had a 6-10, and then a 10-6. It's so crazy that people have so much hate for Dak Prescott that they literally are blinded to anything. I'm not saying that Dak Prescott will have the career that Peyton Manning has, but from the start that he's had, the numbers, you look at them, Dak has at least as good, if not better, in almost every category except for touchdown passes. 120 to 106. But Dak kills them 25 TDs rushing to 3. Dak kills them because he only had 40 interceptions to 86 for Peyton Manning. But that's cool. But what I actually wanted to get from you guys was, or at least give you guys my first take. I want to revisit OTAs and mini camp and what my biggest takeaway is and the thing that I like the most. Thing I like the most, well, one of the things I like about it is the fact that our team showed up, that everybody showed up for OTAs. Not every team did that. In fact, a lot of teams didn't have voluntary OTAs. This is going to put the Cowboys ahead of the curve. And here's what I like, because you think about last year for our rookie class that didn't have rookie OTAs like we have starting tomorrow, or rookie school, which is in person working directly with the coaches. They didn't have in-person OTAs where it's a whole lot better for the players to have the coach right there keeping an eye on. One of the players for the Giants, the whole thing was how he was working his way to get out of practicing. You know what? That's not a good thing. You want these guys to practice and know things hand over fist. I love this because this should give the Cowboys advantage where they should be on board with what they're doing better than other teams. But that's not my biggest thing. I loved Dan Quinn. And I'll go on to Dan Quinn a little bit later. But the thing that I love the most, the thing that I think that is really, really cool, and something I've got to work on here for game day as well, is actually the fact that the Dallas Cowboys have changed what they are looking for on their defense. I sound like a broken record. I get this. I'm old. I'm not like the young guys like Skywalker Steel, that are nice to look at. I'm covered in sweat right now because I've been up here, unscrewing screws and pulling off boards and loading them on the truck. I'm rough around the edges. I get that. The thing that I love the most is the big guy. The big guy don't get love. That the Dallas Cowboys decided, because like I said, I'm a broken record. If you've heard me or watched me for years, the thing I've always said is the difference a big man will make. You've got to clog the middle. You must. And the Dallas Cowboys, we've had a couple guys that are pretty good size, Malik Collins and Antoine Woods. They're big guys, they're about 300, but they're really not a clog the middle kind of guy. We've always had this attitude that a defensive tackle, he can play in the middle of the field. That's good enough. And the thing about our defensive tackles has always been we like length. David Irving, 6'4", tall guy, kind of skinny. Tyrone Crawford isn't any thicker. In fact, I'd say he was thinner than I am. Here's what's crazy. Tyrone Crawford's about 4 inches taller than me, but only weighed about 10 pounds. Do I look like a defensive tackle? Or more yet, do I look like a nose tackle or a nose guard? I did back in the day, but we were smaller back then. Most people won't look at Quinton Bohannon and think of a difference maker. As they go through and they rated our secondary, they say our secondary, second worst in the NFL. But there's a difference in being a secondary player on different teams. If you have a defensive line that's good, there's a big difference in the statistics that'll happen for a secondary. If you can get pressure with 4 guys, your front, that means your linebackers don't have to blitz to try and get pressure. That means they're also there helping out the secondary. If you have more guys to defend those players that you can double cover, you're going to be more successful as far as your numbers go. You follow me? If your defensive line is trash, I don't know that there's ever been a secondary that's been the number 1 secondary in NFL with a defensive line that's trash. Unless that defensive line is so bad that literally we're going to run 300 yards on you every week, that why would we even pass the football? I guess you could say that. But if you have a defensive line and edge rushers that can get to that quarterback in, say, 2.5 seconds, your secondary is not going to be challenged. If you have a defensive line that can't get there, that takes 7-8 seconds, that there's no pressure in the middle, and the quarterback can just step up and have a clear view of the field, make himself a ham sandwich, pour himself a beer, and then throw the football, your secondary is not going to be very good. Because it all boils down to the defensive line. I don't know how many jerseys Quinton Bohannon will sell. I can guarantee you I'll be one of them. Because that guy in the middle that the Dallas Cowboys have just said, meh, forever, is the guy that will make the difference for the team. I know you don't believe it. I know everything that I say that people just brush off. Mark is just crazy. And it's so funny that all these people that are still hating on the things I've told you about Dak Prescott, are the same ones that have been saying the same shit from the day I said that the Dallas Cowboys, I remember this shit. When Tony Romo went down and Dak Prescott became our starter, I remember being on the Benet Emery show and telling Benet, we're going to be okay. Most fans had already, fuck the season. It's over with. It's done. And we were right. I was right. And that's cool that you guys say you're a fucking idiot. Because you know what? If and when Dak Prescott gets into the Hall of Fame, I'm going to be the one that's going to be standing there laughing the loudest at you guys that hate his ass. It's cool. It's cool. I like it when people doubt me. I like it when people tell me, you're that crazy old man that's ugly. That's cool. That's cool. But, it's funny. Said Dak Prescott was better than Jared Goff. Said he was better than Carson Wentz. Kept telling you guys, Carson Wentz was trash. You're just a hater. Okay. Okay. We cool. We cool. All right. You get these dead legs back up here. This deck ain't changing itself by itself. Hope y'all are having a great weekend. Listen to what I tell you guys. Listen to what I tell you. And at least have the decency before you come in and tell me how stupid I am. At least watch the whole video and see if you understand. I didn't say that Dak Prescott's career is equal to Peyton Manning's. I said the first 69 games that both of them had, looking at the numbers, Dak's got better numbers. Just does. But you guys are too blind to see that. Hope y'all are having a great weekend. I'm going to go up here and get it done. Peace.